Good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Welcome to the Westernport Library Town Hall. My name is Lisa McKenney, and I'm the Interim Executive Director for the library. Here with me this evening are Ashley Swinford, Shane Morris, and Renee Mason from Library Administration, as well as our Board President, Renee Nyson. Thank you all for coming this evening to spend a couple of hours with us. We appreciate that you've all taken time out of your busy schedules to come and give some feedback about the library. We want the feedback to provide some information for us to focus on what the library should feature, whether it's the traditional things that we're used to or whether you have some new and fresh ideas to share with us this evening. Before we get started, I wanted to extend our thanks to the Bruce Outreach Center and Pastor David Cohen for the use of this beautiful auditorium for tonight's meeting. We appreciate your help and hospitality and could not have asked for a better location. Special thanks to Hunter Cohen for all of her assistance with the sound and the technology this evening. As you know, the Westernport Library was devastated by a flood in May of this year. I'm sure you have all seen the video on our YouTube showing the camera footage inside the library as it happened. And you know that the floodwaters were very deep and very powerful. We lost over 12,000 books, other collection items like movies and our wonder books, all of our technology and our computers, much of our furniture and fixtures that were not either hardwood or metal were also lost, and much more. But the damage to the library was not merely cosmetic. The foundation took a hit in the front of the building, where the floodwaters came across the street, and there is now a height difference of approximately 6 inches from the outside walls to the inner dividing wall. There is a hollow sound present in the area where the dividing wall meets the exterior Main Street wall, which suggests that the aggregate material under the concrete is likely washed out. In layman's terms, the building foundation is sinking in some areas and heaving in others. The library has flood insurance, but the costs of the damage to the foundation were not covered by the policy. The library and Allegany County Public Works are working closely together to calculate the costs involved in repairing the structure to correct these issues. And ultimately, we have to remember that this building is still located in a floodplain. So we need to understand what construction considerations are there for the building in the likely event that this happens again. More recently, we received a bill for the cost of the cleanup that was undertaken in the weeks following the flood. The cleaning was completed in June, but the library did not receive the bill for the services until early September. When the invoice was received, it was over $131,000. After recovering from my heart palpitations, before paying this amount from our claim, we are working with the insurance company who is reviewing these costs with the cleaning firm. As you can imagine, if this bill stands and we do not receive additional funds from the insurance company, it will require a significant chunk of our insurance claim to pay that bill. While this is all being figured out, the library is renting 121 Main Street, up the street from the current building, to serve as a temporary library. We're excited to open on November the 3rd at this new location. The space is smaller, of course, but it should feel more like a normal library experience in a building with shelving and collections to browse. There are a lot of library staff who are doing our best to make this work for you. I know you will have a lot of questions about what I've just mentioned. I will be available after our business this evening to speak to you. So, please come find me, share your contact information if you would like to connect after this evening, because we'll probably end a little late. And I'll be happy to, follow up with you after this evening. My goal is to be honest and transparent with you. Our goals for tonight. We're hoping to get to know more about the needs of the Westernport service area in general, and to take that information back to see what the library might be able to do to help to meet those needs. We're also hoping that you can be very creative in sharing your ideas for the library collections, both physical and digital, as well as fun, educational, and entertaining programs and events, and creating connections to services where possible. We're particularly interested in hearing from people living in the Westernport Library Service area who are not current library users. We want to know why you aren't currently a regular user of the library and what we can add to the library that would entice you to sign up for a library card and become a regular visitor. A little about our process for this evening, and also our process in general for gathering this feedback from the community. We cast a wide net to hear from the community members. Here's a recap. We held a feedback session on October the 6th with Friends of the Library and Save the Westernport Library groups. We have distributed a 16-page paper survey to the towns of Westernport and Allegany, as well as area businesses. We have promoted widely options for people to participate in the same 16-page survey online. We have provided a phone interview option for anyone who prefers that method of providing feedback. We have promoted the event at the Monday pop-up libraries at Westernport Library. We had a table at Mountain Ridge High School to make sure that we were hearing from our teens. Westernport Elementary included us in their informational newsletter. We sent out 2,597 mailers to Westernport service area households to promote tonight's event, to provide the link to the online survey, and to also create awareness about 121 Main Street, our new temporary location, again, opening November the 3rd. All of the above has been posted on our social media, featured in traditional media outlets, and shared widely through other channels. We will ultimately be taking all of this feedback that we received tonight and through all of the above methods back to be compiled into a report that we will share publicly. We will have statistics of the number of people in the community who participated in this process. So let's get started. We've been distributing this double-sided paper as you've been arriving. Does anyone need one of those papers? Please raise your hand if you don't yet have one of those papers. All right, I think we've got everyone covered then. You notice at the top there is an event schedule. The event flow is the agenda for tonight, and then that section is followed by open-ended questions. This is the Q&A session that we will start out with first. The way that this will work is that we will ask the question, and if you would like to respond, please raise your hand, and we will come to you with a microphone so everyone can hear you. This event is being recorded, and the mics also help to make sure that we have clear audio. We ask that you wait to be called upon that you only speak when you have the mic, and that we allow everyone an opportunity to speak uninterrupted. After the Q&A, there will be a time for you to complete the multiple choice section. We have pens here, so please let us know if you need something to write with. Our staff can also assist you if you need help completing the survey, so please ask us. All right, so with that, we're ready to get started with the first open-ended question. So again, as a reminder, if you have a comment or an idea or any feedback for us, please raise your hand and we'll run and get a microphone to you so that you can share that with us. Oh, sure. The question is, what are library collections? Library collections are the library term for the books, the movies, all of the physical things that you check out from the library. So books for children, for teens, for adults. We also have audiobooks. We have movies. So that is what a collection is. And when we talk about physical collections, those are the things that you pick up and take with you outside the library. When we talk about digital collections, those are the collections that are on the library website. So ebooks, e-audiobooks, digital magazines, those are all collections as well. So does that help to answer the question? Thank you, ma'am. We sometimes forget we're caught up in library lingo here, so thank you for that. All right, so first question, and again, raise your hand and we're going to mic to you when you, so that you can respond and we can hear you. What are the most important needs or challenges facing the Westernport community? So this is the question where we kind of get to know the community outside of the library. What, in general, what are the challenges and needs of the Westernport community?
A lack of police security.
Police security?
So,
I had to hold it really close to my mouth in order for it to go out.
yeah. You know, a lack of police security in the neighborhood.
Okay.
We have a few drug issues in town and we need to take it there. No answer.
Thank you. Anyone else? What are some of the community needs?
We need more residents, we need more residents. I don't know what we can do about that, but that's what we need.
There needs to be some sort of transportation outside this community because there's no, social services in Cumberland. So there needs to be some sort of transportation out of the community.
Okay. Public transportation. Other ideas?
Certainly, since the loss of the paper mill, I think jobs in this area, just all around, is the number one concern for the Tri-Towns area. Going to the last lady's comment, if we have jobs, we'll get people.
Business in there is Vicky's Breakfast. Missouri City Police.
But I hear it's good food. I have heard good things about food. I haven't tried yet. Neat. All right, so the question number 2 then is, what role could the library play in helping to meet these needs? We talked about employment, transportation, security. Can you think of any ways that the library could help with some of those issues?
You guys could think about a job fair, maybe, or that's all I got. Job fair.
Okay, out there.
A larger meeting room.
Oh, okay.
As far as the drug, I kind of second that, what he said. So maybe some after-school programs to teach kids drug awareness about drugs, and the DARE program that I used to do when I was a kid. We did DARE, some kind of after-school drug preventative training and something like that.
Okay, thank you. Any other ideas? Right. Question number 3. How can the library create a fun and entertaining experience for the Westernport service area while supporting growth and success for all ages? Does anyone here attend library programs? Can you raise your hand if you've attended library programs? What's been some of your favorites? Stay down here. I think I'm going to kill myself. I'm down this here.
So recently at the Washington Street Library, they had a pie baking contest, and that was very enjoyable.
And you are a baker.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make a pie?
Yes, I made a quiche.
Nice. Good. Great. Cooking programs. What other kinds of programs should the library have?
Excuse me. My granddaughter is 10 years old, and we have enjoyed several things that Library Westernport is offering. Pumpkin painting. They make Christmas crafts, Valentine crafts. I'm not sure what night it is, if it's game night, but in the winter, enjoy Wednesday with the other programs.
I'll speak on behalf of my wife and the kids. They did story time a lot of times, and they always enjoyed that.
One time. And, you're kind of thinking about the question in a different way. When you walk in the library, what do you want the experience to feel like? What do you want the library to look like? What do you want the library to feature? Do you have any thoughts about the overall experience that you would like to have when you visit?
She had an opinion about your last statement that she would like to share.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed your art contest and your Black History Month speaker. According to the signs in town, and when I'm in the library, I feel you have a lot going on for the children and even for adults. I just wish we could get more people there. But I am, as far as the the looks of the library, absolutely. It's always comforting, you know, it looks nice, it's always family friendly. And of course, the people are also very friendly, but it's getting the people. I think you have a lot going on. I really do.
I think our library was beautiful before the flood. It was very inviting. And I think one way of getting more in for the events would be better advertising, like you did for this meeting. Can you speak a little bit more about how did you, what connected, was it the social media? Was it getting the flyer in your home? How did you find out about the flyer? The flyer in your home? Yes. Okay. Any other comments about the overall library experience and creating entertaining experiences while supporting growth and success for all ages? Any other thoughts?
I'm only one real quick thing. The people that are here, we're the same Westernport Library, and as just looking to our president,
Regina, can you put the mic closer to your mouth?
you guys helped us raise so much money. We're here to support them, so you may not hear us speak, because if some of you have heard us, we can be quite vocal, but we want to be here to support them and to support the community and listen to your ideas also. So that's why we're sitting here quietly, gaining all your information also as we continue to help the library and our Westernport Library. Thank you all.
You're welcome. You were mentioning about the programs that we had live. I would want to know if like people would like to have programs that we do all have entertainment, music sessions that come in. We have authors, we have crafts. Is there something else that we're missing that you'd like to see in the line of the program? So the question is, what aren't we doing in programs that you would like us to do? Inquiring minds want to know.
Perhaps you could consider having maybe Thursday night seminars for adults. In our community, we have many retired people who've had wonderful, wonderful careers and who are experts in particular situations. Perhaps the local community of the retired could come and could give a seminar about what they had done and how that could perhaps influence somebody to go into that profession or to start a whole new field. So that would help a lot of us.
Something you said at the beginning of that, you said on Thursdays. Do you think having a series of programs on the same day at the same time is effective?
It doesn't have to be a Thursday, maybe a Wednesday night, but the same night every month. Maybe the second Wednesday night or the third Tuesday night or the fourth Thursday night. So everybody is accustomed to coming at a certain time. Also, if the library would put out a sheet of the things they're going to do that month, then you post that in the post office and the gas station all around town so we know. A good marketing program really would help a lot. So things aren't just catch as you can. If we knew what was coming, maybe a lot more of us would come.
So maybe some predictability in the schedule. The flyers are posted.
So we have a child care center here. And we had come down and talked to you guys like at the beginning of the year about partnering maybe. So, you know, fellow teacher and I here come down and, you know, we got books for our kids. But it's a private pre-K, basically, you know. So we don't have the ability to come to you. And right now we have a clinic full of kids. But the reason why we're here is because of BOC. Found out because we're here. We didn't get anything in the mail, we didn't see an advertisement, but passion. So maybe we can, our daycare can connect you guys to some using people. Just
That's good. We've done studies over the years, and word of mouth marketing is oftentimes the strongest way that people hear about what's happening. So there's definitely a good point there.
The Westernport town elections are coming up in May. So it'd be nice to have a candidates night at the library. I held one, well, many years ago now. It was well attended.
You post things on the back of the water bill. Great. Question number 4. What kinds of partnerships or collaborations would help the library better serve the community?
I would have to say, we don't typically attend the library, my family and I, but I would have to say, piggybacking off of what Stephanie said, which was tapping into the local churches, because there's not many businesses in the community that I think, you know, for me, I always heard about the library from Grace Flatts. She, just raved about you guys and everything you did. And I think that if you're trying to at least target children the best, I would say local churches, especially for ours, we have like 30 to 40 kids here every single week. I think that if you can figure out how to navigate the proper way to get in with maybe youth leaders or youth pastors or pastors like Pastor Dave, he is willing to say, wow, look at what amazing things the library is doing for the community. And a lot of us parents are going to say, okay, well, we'll take our children there if you guys think that it's going very well. So I think that if you were willing to reach out to the 6, 7, 8 churches that we have in Westernport, if you're strictly targeting Westernport, that would probably be a good outreach for you guys as someone.
We certainly have appreciated collaborating with you on this event. So thank you.
Well, you've got the kids at that end. How about the seniors at the senior center? Because they're together and they have their meals together during the week, and they come to eat. The kids will just come across the street and join you all, or you can go there and provide programs.
Are there any other organizations or groups active in the Westernport community that maybe the library is not aware of? Oh, you got it.
It would be great if Westernport had a chamber of commerce, which the library, the businesses, the churches, would all be together. They would meet once a month and do things together. Now, you wouldn't want to call it a chamber because then you'd have to pay all kinds of fees, but you could call it, like Westernport businesses and churches, whatever, organizations. But perhaps the library can mention it to the council members, and maybe one of them would take it on. I'm Kitty Mitchell, and I was a commissioner And I tried it, but I didn't have any success. But maybe, I think that would be great. We did years ago have a Chamber of Commerce, the Tri-Towns. But it's something you could maybe ask the council to help with.
It's an interesting idea.
We have a Bruce Outreach Academy homeschool here at Bruce Outreach Center Church. And we would love to be able to collaborate with the library system and come up with some sort of a program where we could either meet and go to you, or I don't know if you do an outreach, but we would love to collaborate.
Westernport also has an organization called the Ministerial Association, and it's a group of all of the Westernport churches, and their leadership are together, providing support in lots of ways for Westernport. John Faison Baker, as far as I know.
We are also in the process right now of trying to get a Girl Scout troop back to Westernport. So we are actively doing that right now.
Okay, question number 6. How can the library encourage more community members to use the library? The $1 million question. How can we get more people in the Westernport community to use the library? Very interested in hearing your thoughts on this one.
From 2 or 3 days a week does not do it. You need better balance, including Saturday.
We will provide an opportunity for everyone in this room on our page here to help unpack that a little bit, to tell us what hours and days you think the library should be open. So we will be talking about that in a little bit more specifically. Other ways that we can get more of your friends and neighbors and family members to use the library.
She has a statement about the last question.
Oh,
It's the one you're on. I think that because of the money that's been raised, that we almost need to bombard the town with different events so that people realize it's going on. Because it just takes a while for everybody to kind of figure out, oh, hey, look at what's going on, and these people are really enjoying this. Money has always been an issue. I don't know if the funds raised would help with that, but I feel like the only way you're going to get more people is to just have event after event after event until people start to realize and want to join in.
did I see it come over here?
I say social media presence is key for the younger generation. Making sure you throw Facebook ads, you can boost posts and different stuff. I'm assuming you guys already know how to do that, so I would say that would be a big thing.
How can we build a love of reading in the community?
This is so closely related to question number 6 and what the gentleman just mentioned about social media. We're in a multimedia age now where rather than reading or scrolling, hoping we're hitting something. I think in the way we promote the library, we need to remind people just how brilliant books are, the content of it. We can present a Robert Frost poem and follow it with so many more of these. You won't believe what I'm saying about you can relate to any sports, music, contents of the books as you promote them.
So the thing that came to my mind first with this question was to offer book clubs, of different age groups, adults, younger kids, and kids. Then get that sense of community together, but also each opinion, hyping up the book and excited for the next one.
What kind, can you give a couple examples of the type of book club that you would come to? Put you on the spot.
That's a really good question. Just something inviting and cozy. I read all sorts of genres, so that wouldn't really be what draws me in. It's something that just feels really easy to be a part of. Not overly complicated. Keep it simple, but make it exciting. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Connecting books to real life things, I think is important. And I know it is for little ones, so I assume it would be for adults as well.
Story times for adults. Why not, huh? A lot.
I really believe that fostering a love of reading really has to begin two places. It has to begin at home and it has to begin in the schools at an early age. By the time kids are in high school, if they haven't developed a love of reading, they're not going to get it most times. So really, it has to start at home. I'm not sure really what the library itself can do to foster more reading, other than, like I say, it has to start early at home.
So with my daughter, she likes being read to. She's 8 years old, but she is behind with reading. And she's in public school. The school's trying to help, but it's not enjoyable for her. I love reading and would never stop if I didn't have to. I don't know if there's a way to help parents help their children. I'm a pre-K teacher. I can help you sound, letters. I cannot teach her to read. I'm trying my best and I'm human. If there was an opportunity for me to go somewhere and learn how to help her, that would be amazing.
I love that idea. Also, I wanted to mention have you tried the Wonder Books? Check out Wonder Books, because what they are, they're children's picture book with an audio component to it. So do you remember when we were kids, they had like the book that you would get with the record or the CD or whatever? And you would hear the book being read aloud as you're reading along with the turning pages. That's pretty much what a modern day version of a Wonder Book is. So try that. They're really a lot of fun. Everybody tries them, thinks that they're really effective, but I think there's a lot of comprehension that takes place when the kids are hearing the story being read, as well as looking at the actual book and turning the pages. So Wonder Books, look that up. Yeah. So she is saying resources on our website for different age groups. Okay.
The Westernport Library in the past, you all have done story time. Just continue that. That's enlarged.
I do want to mention we when we start out at 121 Main Street, we're not going to start the story times right away. Probably after the first of the year, I think we were, I think one also mentioned that, but we do intend to bring them back. Anything else about creating a love of reading in our community? All right. Question number 8. Do you have any other thoughts, ideas, or suggestions about the Westernport Library? Be outlandish, be bold. What do you want the library to look like, to be like, to feel, to feature?
After listening to some of these things, we were talking back here about a sign in front of the library where events and activities could be posted. That way people driving by could see it, read it, and then look into it. Okay?
I'd just like to say that I've been a member of the library for many years, and I've never seen it look better than when Kathy has been taking care of it. She has programs for young people and older people. She has done a wonderful job.
You aren't only a patron, Kay, you were also an employee.
I think it would help if you would get the information out to the local churches, because the churches support the love of reading and the Westernport Library, and they would gladly share it with their congregation.
So, you said be bold, so I'm gonna be bold. So, I have 8 kids, and my wife and I, we homeschool, so we love to go to the library and rent out a lot of books. And a lot of times when my kids are reading these books, they'll come to me and just tell me that there's the LGBTQ propaganda in the books. And so we're kind of disappointed by that. We don't really want our kids to learn that stuff or even be okay with that stuff. And I know many people here might disagree with me, but is there a way that we can maybe separate that kind of stuff from other books, you know, where we don't want that into our kids' brain kind of thing, and just having even if you put a rainbow marker on the book so we would know that that's a book that's designed for that versus something else.
Sure, I understand. I think that the library has something for everyone. So, library is not political. Our mission is to provide all of the information and all of the resources and all of the types of materials to the public. And then everybody has the freedom of choice to decide for themselves and for their families what they want to check out. So I would say that, you know, we want to provide a library collection where everyone can see themselves in the collection. And that's not to say that that's not your right to decide that that's not right for your family. You know, that's, as the parent, that's where that choice resides, is that you should be watching what your children are checking out and making sure that you approve of all of that. So I appreciate your comment, but I think that, you know, we want to be able to provide the kinds of materials that appeal to a wide and diverse audience. And I think that, you know, we make every effort with the collection to feature opposing viewpoints so that there's balance in the collection. So just as you can check out a book that's for something, you can check out a book that's also against it, or has a different viewpoint.
Yeah, I would just like to have it clarified, so, because my kids are just, how do we know the difference? And they're all in the kids section, and I don't want that on kids. And we do a lot of books, and
Right.
if it continues, I just really won't them.
I would think that a lot of the parents will actually read the books themselves. I'm not sure.
I don't have time to read 100 books, so
Right.
I'm not gonna, and I do try to prove, read it back to whatever, to the pictures and stuff.
I would
For
say,
me, I would say, you wanna get the church involved, that's one area that we're gonna probably want done. And that's the homeschooling community that's grown a lot. So, and majority of that reason is because of his families don't approve of that kind of stuff in the schools.
right.
So,
I
It
would
might
say
be
use
benefit
your library
to
staff
the-
as resources to see if the library staff can help to look at the materials that you're checking out and help you to read synopsis of it. A lot of times in the cataloging records for the materials, there'll be subject headings that will help to call out some of the content. But I will say to you very firmly that we are not going to stop putting those types of materials in the collection. That's definitely, we believe in the patron who wants to have those types of materials available for their children to read. So it's a fundamental right for people to have the freedom to read.
studies on how many people have you done studies on how many people actually want that for the kids? And how many people would not want that? That might be a question you put on a survey is, would this affect you from coming to the library or not? Or, if this kind of material, would you want your kids to have this kind of books, or would you rather not? Like, I would love to have a Brave books, they're a great book company that supports that kind of stuff. That doesn't support that kind of stuff. So it's like, it's a suggestion, be a way to find out, your logistics of the community, what do people desire out of the library.
We do monitor the checkouts. With our computer system, we can see the number of times all the materials check out. So we are able to monitor how many times particular materials are checked, like every day. And we can look and see how many times it was checked out and
A
feel
lot
good
of
about
that
it.
could be fault, because like my kids, they just see a book and it looks good, and then they get into it, like, hey, this is, and then we have to return it, but it's on. So then that would be, if I checked it out, but I didn't want to be checked out, so that would kind of, you hear what I'm saying?
I do hear what you're saying. I think for the library institution, we're not going to stop providing those materials. I would say that it resides with you as the parent to scrutinize what your children are checking out and ensure that it fits with your personal belief system. But as the library, we're not going to stop providing materials that don't appeal to you, but they do appeal to someone else.
Yes. And I know even along these kind of lines, I've walked into the Lavelle Library already before when they had the flag hanging up. So why would they need to hang that flag? I respect that. Westernport never did that. I just, hopefully that wouldn't come to Westernport. I guess you're the director of all these libraries in Allegany?
I'm the interim director
Of all the Allegany County libraries?
yes, of all
So,
16.
I guess you would be part of that too, of those presence. So that would be my concern.
Right. And again, I think that, we kind of have to keep at the forefront that the libraries aren't going to make that decision to block people from having certain materials available to them to check out. That's, as a parent and as an individual, that's your choice as to whether or not you check that out. But we're not going to stop doing that just strictly based upon.
Yeah, but you still have adult novelties section and different stuff, right? So you don't have like adult novelties in the kids section, correct? Or do you have those moved by the kids section? So, and you do have some parameters of different categorization of books. So could you create maybe a category, hey, these are faith-based books? Do you have a faith-based book section?
That's controlled by the Dewey Decimal System, so everything that's faith-based is in the 220 section of the Dewey Decimal System. So a lot of that is controlled through the way that libraries are organized.
Richard?
Sure.
I just wanted to recommend Common Sense Media as a resource for evaluating different materials, but as Lisa mentioned, the library staff can also help with that, and there are other resources, but I did want to recommend Common Sense Media to you guys.
Thank you, Shay. All right. I think we're now moving towards the multiple choice section. So now's the time to get your sheets of paper out. And we provided pens, I think, at the entrance, but if you need those, we do still have some pens back in the back, so raise your hand if you need a pen. The first multiple choice question on your sheet: have you used your library card in the last 12 months? Yes, no, not sure, or I don't have a library card. All right, next question. If you did not use the Westernport Library, what held you back? There are several options. The hours didn't work. You didn't know what was offered. Transportation. Preferred other options. The library didn't meet my needs. Felt unwelcome, or past experience, or other. All right, on the back side of the sheet, what time should the library open? So we have options listed here from 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. The next question, what time should the library close? We've provided options from noon all the way through 9 p.m. And thinking for yourself, what are the best times of day for you to visit the library? And again, we provide 9 a.m. through 9 p.m. there. So what are the best times for you to come to visit the library? The next question asks you to rank the days of the week, Monday through Saturday, from the most convenient to the least convenient for you to visit the library. So when you're thinking about yourself, what days of the week are the most convenient to the least convenient? So as you can see there, we have the most convenient, very convenient, right? The day of the week next to the most convenient. And continue on down to write the day of the week next to one that is the least convenient. How did you hear about this event? Library staff, library website, Facebook or social media, a friend or family member, the flyer in the mail, or other. Right, and last but not least, if you would like to be entered in a contest for a $50 local gift card, please include your name and your phone number at the bottom of the sheet. And we have a box up where Shay is standing. There is a box labeled where you can put your completed surveys in the box on your way out this evening. All right. Well, again, thank you very much for coming out this evening and participating in this process. The online surveys, the paper surveys, they're still out in the community. Please encourage your friends and neighbors to complete the surveys to let us know what they think. And again, at the end of all of this, what we're going to do is create a report that is going to be shared publicly where we compile all of the feedback that we received throughout this process. And that will include the number of participants, what people, overall say that when they want the library to open, when they want the library to close, what they think the best days of the week are. All of those types of things will be compiled into a survey report that we will send out to you. So again, thank you so much for coming this evening. The staff and I will be hanging around here for a few minutes. So if you have anything else that you would like to talk with us about or any other questions, please come and find us. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.